What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bitcast episode 10. It is January 18th, 2020. Been looking at some macro things. I wanted to do a video talking about like the yearly and the monthly chart and the weekly chart. In my opinion, those are the more important charts because they show us, yearly, monthly, weekly resistances, which are a lot stronger. They hold more importance than, say, your 4-hour or your hourly chart or even your daily chart. The further you zoom out, the points in which the price reacts, so like the highs and the lows, have more importance than, say, the lower time frame charts. So it's certainly important to look at higher time frame charts and the price action and seeing where those levels of support and resistances are, and to kind of help develop your investment thesis. So this is the yearly chart, meaning that every candle represents a whole year of price action. This is the Bitstamp chart. It's got the most data. It goes all the way back to January of 11, even though Bitcoin didn't start running until basically 2009. So we are, if we look at the pattern, if we try to identify the pattern on the yearly chart, what I see is 4-year cycle. You look at this first bullish move when we went from $13 all the way up to $1,070. This was the first bull run, mega bull run, and then the next year we had a down year. So we had a bull run, down year. This, I would say, is a recovery. We bottomed. You could call the recovery the bottom. If we look at this, the bottom happened in the down year. But what I see here is a 4-year cycle. We've got a bull run, we've got a correction year, we've got a recovery year. Then we've got another bull run year. See, this year closed above the yearly close here. So if we look at the past 4 years from 2017, we've got the bull year, we've got the down year, recovery year, and 2020 just started, and so far we're up about 30%. So if, history might not repeat itself, but it might rhyme. Could we expect this yearly candle to close above 13.8-ish, 13.7? That would confirm this pattern, this 4-year pattern that we're talking about. So far it looks pretty good. I would say if we look at the previous year, close was about 71.70, somewhere around there. So as long as we close above that this year, that 7,100 level, I think we're still bullish. So that kind of puts things in perspective for the whole year for me. As long as we're above that 71.70, I think we're sitting pretty well. And then obviously the low down here is around 3,000. If we get below that, then that's bearish. I would be looking for support levels down around that 1,100 if that happened. But so far this looks very similar to the previous 4-year cycle where we went bullish. Bullish 1 year, down 1 year, recovered 1 year, and then we went bullish again and closed above the highs for this year. And then the next cycle started. Bullish, down year, recovery. Are we going to get that bullish candle? Time will tell. We have to get above that 13.7, 14K area. If we close above 14K this year, sky's the limit. It'll probably close. If it closes above it, watch out for that next year. Year 2021, I think, is going to be the big bull year for Bitcoin. So 2020 might be a good positioning year. We got the halving this year. That doesn't necessarily, I don't think the halving is going to directly affect price immediately. You know, I don't think the day that the halving happens, I don't think it's going to spike like 200% or some shit like that. But it is certainly going to affect the supply and demand, or it's affecting the supply directly. So as long as the demand remains constant, or if the demand increases, it's going to affect price positively even more because the supply is being reduced. So let's zoom in a little farther. Let's go to the 6-month chart. So each candle represents 6 months or a half year of price action. Kind of gives us a little clearer picture. Immediately when I look at this, I just see this level right here, this 6,030 level. When we had that correction, we bounced off of it. We eventually broke support, and then we bottomed. Price shot past it. I'm surprised. A lot of people were expecting this to act as resistance, but we actually blew right past it. But on the correction, we came down and we retested it. That ended up being our bounce point. It was around that 6,500 level. And now we're on the come up for the next 6 months for the beginning of the year. And looking at this chart, I would say the January 1 candle close was around 10.7. Then we broke down, and now we're on the come up. So if we close above 10.7, I would say that's bullish, and we're probably going to retest the highs up here around 20,000. So if by July 1st of this year, and Bitcoin is above 10.7, I'm probably going to be, positioning myself for a run for the highs. That's just me. That's my plan of attack. 10.7 is a huge level for me. And then obviously this 14K will be a huge level, but I think if we close above this, it's going to confirm a bullish structure, and we're going to retest those highs. So that's the 6-month chart. Now let's zoom into the monthly. So every candle represents 1 month of price action. And look at that bull run. Beautiful. We only ever had about 2 down months in a row. Otherwise, they were all bullish. Have a down month, and then it'd be a few bullish months. A down month, bullish months. It's crazy. So, looking at this chart, as you can see, 2020 January is off to a hot start. So far, we have broken out of this downtrend. If we draw this line, this trend line is what they call that. Passes through all of these points here. Price is above this diagonal. So if we close above this for the end of January, if February starts and we're above this line, that's going to confirm that we have broken out on the monthly, which is a very important chart. Next week, I think, come Sunday, or actually we already closed. We closed basically right at resistance, and now we're above it. But as long as this weekly candle closes above it, it will be a bullish sign too. But zooming out, the monthly is even more important. So if the monthly closes above it, that's going to be even greater. So you could call this level, this bottom closing area right here, around like 8.3. So if we close, as long as we close above 8.3 for the month of January, I would say that we're sitting pretty good. This is a bullish engulfing. And honestly, that would just be great if we closed above it in the monthly. That would be mega bullish for me. That would be like, okay, we've broken out of the downtrend. This is for sure, we're at least going to go sideways or up. That doesn't, for me, that means that we've broken out of this whole downtrend, and either sideways or up action is to come. As long as we close above the previous month high, which is around like 7.6, we're still sitting good. as far as reversal wise goes, as long as we close above 7.6, that means that this is looking like a rounded bottom, and we might actually, you know, be gaining a floor. Even though price is up here, and if it sells off, down to here, then, I mean, that would obviously suck. That means that we didn't break out of the downtrend, but it at least tells us that we're gaining a floor because we didn't create a lower low, if that makes sense. But the ultimate goal is to break out of this wedge to get that candle to close on the other side of this diagonal, and then that would be a bullish confirmation for me big time. I'm already bullish because, as you can see on the weekly, we've already closed basically right at resistance. I want to see where this candle closes tomorrow. I mean, it obviously looks like we're going to close on the outside of it, but anything could happen. So far, on the lower time frames, price looks mega bullish. We're just consolidating up and to the right. So, I mean, you never know with Bitcoin. You know, you could cascade a bunch of longs. Somebody could liquidate a bunch of longs, and you know, the price could dip considerably before continuing to more upside. But so far, things are looking really good. I just wanted to make a video, kind of just zooming out, looking at the higher time frames, because honestly those hold more importance. As you can see on the 3-day chart, it looks really good. I'd like to see a bigger candle here. It looks like price is kind of slowing down, but this is like the first major level of resistance to me, that 9,000. I'd like to see us get up to that 9.5 or even 10k. If we get above 10k, I think that's a major level. As far as, I mean, it's a rounded number, it's a whole number. If we look at how price has reacted around 10k, I mean, you can just see it's acted as major support and resistance. Price is always reacting around it. It's either up, down, up, down. We finally broke below it. Then we came back up here. We retested the 10K. And then it didn't work out. Now we got this rounded bottom, this head and shoulders. And now we're on our way back up to test 10K again, in my opinion. Whether we get a correction before then remains to be seen. I could see us correcting back down and either retesting this neckline or just getting a little bit of a correction before a higher continuation. But I think ultimately in the next few months, maybe sooner, we're going to see 10K. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some of my yearly targets, my monthly targets. I think zooming out and getting that bigger picture helps ease your mind a bit, because Bitcoin is so volatile that a lot of times you can get lost in the low time frame noise. You know, if we zoom in on the 4-hour, we can see prices going up and down, up and down. But as you can see, it's just been consolidating up and to the right. This looks like as soon as we break that 9,000 area, price is just gonna probably get some pretty good double-digit gains or something. Hopefully, we'll see. Remains to be seen. But yeah, don't get lost in the low time frame price action. You know, Bitcoin is volatile as far as other assets go, but it's because it's in its beginning years still. I mean, it's only 10 years old, so the more people that get involved, the less volatile it'll probably become. But yeah, so those levels that we were watching, let's take a peek at them again. The major ones. In the next 6 months, we want to be above 10.8. And on the monthly, if we can close above 8.3, we're sitting pretty. If we can close above 8.3, I think the monthly will look really good for bullish continuation. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be on the lookout for more videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Like, comment. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm excited. It's a new year, new beginning, new decade. Big things to come for Bitcoin, if you ask me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Nobody that knows where we're going.